Hello friends, welcome to my channel PhD Abroad, and my channel gives you comprehensive guidelines to secure a PhD admission as well as to survive in your PhD. And today I am here to ask you a very important and interesting question. And the question is very simple. Let me put it in this way. So, do you really want to do a PhD? Then my next question is, why do you want to do PhD? You might be thinking this is a stupid question, or it is irrelevant question, or asking this question is a foolishness. But hang on, I will explain why I am asking this question, and at the end of this video I expect you to have an answer for this question. And before I give you my explanation, I have a small disclaimer. The reason for making this video is not to scare you or not to demotivate you. Rather, I would like to encourage you to think before you take a decision to pursue PhD. And there are many reasons behind that. So join with me and watch till the end of this video so that you will be able to get a clear understanding. So before I begin my discussion, at the beginning I have asked you, so why do you really want to do a PhD? There are many reasons behind that. Let me give you 4 reasons why I am asking this question. Do you know that the dropout rate in PhD is approximately 40 to 50% across the world? Which means that out of 100 students, those who are getting admitted into PhD degree, 40 to 50 of them are dropping out in the middle of their PhD journey because of various reasons. And do you know the PhD duration is not 2 years or not 3 years, and the duration is such a long, and it is approximately 4 to 5 years. On an average it is 5 years. And do you know, many people, they fail in their PhD or they drop out in their PhD because the lack of motivation or the lack of interest. They were not able to continue their motivation with the same motivation which they have began. And let me tell you very frankly, PhD is not an undergraduation degree or it is not a master's degree. PhD has you cannot imagine, there is a lot of stress and anxiety and many issues. So, and this is the reason I am asking you, or I want you to think before you take a decision to do a PhD. Again, this is not to demotivate you, but I want you to think twice so that you make a genuine decision to pursue a PhD. And there are further specific problems that every PhD student goes through. I would like to discuss those problems as well. There are 7 problems I want to discuss today. The very first, loss of interest in research. PhD is not just doing some 4 or 5 courses like a master degree or undergraduate degree, write some exams and then pass out and then get a job. No, it is not. PhD is the major portion of a PhD is research. So some people, they lost the interest after a year or after 2 years, and they lost doing interest in research. So as a result, they drop out from their PhD, or they get anxiety, or they stressed out a lot. So likewise, so loss of interest is the primary reason. And second, finding a research supervisor is also difficult because so many equations has to be matched. Your interest and the professor interest, and your way of working and the professor way of working. So many things has to match. Sometimes you may not like the way professor works, or professor may not like the way you work. So finding a perfect research supervisor is sometimes difficult. And conflict with supervisor, sometimes you may end up with a conflict with your supervisor, maybe some a bit a small argument, or maybe you may not like your supervisor or supervisor may not like you. And research publications results, because the PhD course itself involves publishing some good number of research articles in conferences or journals. And let's say you spent almost 6 months in writing a paper, and you submitted it to a conference, and if it gets rejected, then you feel stressed or you feel demotivated. And managing the dissertation committee, so PhD is not just like writing an exam, as I said. So there will be a committee. So maybe the committee may include 3 or 4 professors from the university, and you need to explain to them, you need to defend your proposal. So managing the committee is a bit difficult sometimes. And sometimes you feel isolated, so you feel that you are not getting any help from anybody, and you feel that you are all alone. And stress, work life balance is always there in PhD, because it is not just doing courses, rather sometimes you have to do the course, and you have to do the research, and you have your own personal life. So likewise, there are many issues that comes up as you get along in your PhD. So these are the reasons why I am asking you to think, think, and think. So if I ask you, why do you want to do PhD, then what would be the reason that you are trying to give to yourself? So are you really motivated to do PhD, or you are just doing it because it is the next step of your after your masters? Don't do it just because of just for the sake of doing PhD, because PhD is not an undergraduation degree. It has a lot of problems, struggles, isolation, and stress. So again, as I mentioned, as I'm trying to close, let me tell you, I am not trying to demotivate you, but I am trying to encourage you to think and have a valid reason. And if you are really motivated, then take a step to do a PhD. Before I conclude, so whatever the problems that I have discussed in this video, I am going to give some tips to overcome all these problems in my next video. So please subscribe to my channel, and if you have any questions on this particular video, feel free to write the comments, and then watch for more videos. So then I will give you some tips so that you can overcome all these problems.